for the past 26 years. We've evaluated scholarship programs, fellowship programs, college access programs, college savings account program, and many college, pre-college programs. Our clients have been foundations, universities, and colleges, government entities, not-for-profit organizations. When conducting workshops for professionals in different fields, we often ask the workshop attendees what they most want to know about their programs. And their answers have been astonishingly similar, regardless of what type of programs they're developing or managing or what type of organization they're in. The three most common themes that they raised pertain to what impact their program is having, are their participants successful, and what are longer-term outcomes for their participants. Evaluation is an extremely important part of a program, though historically it has often been overlooked and often the first to get slashed when it is funded and when there are budget reductions. That has changed somewhat over the years, so the evaluation is now valued more. The fact that NSPA is sponsoring this webinar and the 3 conference workshops that we're doing in October indicates that your professional organization recognizes the value of evaluation and the growth and success of scholarship programs.
Okay, so a little bit about what we're going to do today with you. We are going to address some very basic questions about evaluating scholarship programs. And then at the NSPA conference in October, we're going to be leading 3 sessions. And those are entitled Evaluating Strategies for Limited Budgets, Jumping into Evaluation, and Planning for Evaluation. The first of those sessions about strategies for limited budgets, we will be addressing formulating evaluation goals and questions and designing an evaluation process that matches your budget. This session is going to be appropriate for programs starting from scratch as well as programs that are already collecting data but perhaps not yet using it evaluatively. During the session, we're going to be asking participants to inventory data that they either can or already do collect from applicants and from awardees of scholarships. We're also going to take a look at, since it is for those of you on limited budgets, we are going to take a look at some free evaluation tools, and we'll touch on some cost-saving measures and potential opportunities to supplement your evaluation budget.
All right, so the second session that we're workshop going to be doing at NSPA, the 1 p.m. Monday session, we'll jump further into the process of doing evaluation. And this session has been limited by NSPA to no more than 20 people, which will give us a chance for me and Colleen to work with you in smaller groups and to have more interactivity. About a month in advance, which is coming up very soon, we're going to send a logic model for folks to work on, and we're going to talk about logic models a little bit later in this hour. And we'll use the logic model as a jumping off point to talk about the purposes of evaluation for your organization. We'll go through the steps of planning for an evaluation, prioritizing and developing questions, and the next steps that you would be taking.
Okay, and then our third session at NSPA is also limited but to 30 participants, and it's going to be a very participatory workshop, as actually all 3 of them will be, and we'll walk participants through preparing to do a program evaluation, so either with an external evaluator or internally. And during that session, we'll touch on the benefits of evaluation, which we're also going to touch on today. We will introduce and use together a diagnostic tool to assess your programs or your organization's resources and capacity. We'll take a look at determining whether your program itself is ready for evaluation, how to describe various program elements and realistic outcomes based on your program activities. We'll talk about when a program needs to adjust its goals and how to take what program managers want to find out about outcomes and turn them into ideas for collecting data. we're finally in that session, we'll also talk about when tracking participants over time is appropriate and what follow-up is desirable. Okay, so at this point, we're going to try something here. We think we have done this successfully, and you'll let us know if we haven't. But we think we have a poll programmed in for you to take, and this is just a little way for us to get to know you. We've introduced ourselves and our agenda for today and for the conference, and we've just shared with you a poll that asks what best describes what you provide to scholars. And the choices are a one-time scholarship that's $1,000 or under, a one-time scholarship that's $5,000 or less, multiple year renewable scholarships that are under $5,000, and multiple renewable scholarships that are $5,000 or more, or something else. And so if you want to take just a couple of seconds to click one of those boxes, that will help us know a little bit about who we've got attending our webinar today.
We're going to find out if this works. And it's, all right, I think we will move on. We'll see whether folks have been able to do that. So, all right, we're just waiting for that, but no, all right.
Okay, all right, we're closing the poll now.
Okay.
And then there we go.
So today we are going to, so that's a preview of what those 3 sessions are going to be. Today we're going to get started with our topic of looking at 6 basic areas of evaluation, and where each of those is posed as a question, so including the definition of evaluation, reasons for evaluation, so why evaluate your program, what scholarship programs are trying to accomplish, type of evaluation questions and designs, and other, so the questions and designs are separate questions, and then other important considerations for planning and evaluation. These are questions that every program developer and manager should ask herself or himself before embarking on either hiring an external evaluator or conducting an evaluation internally. So where relevant, we'll refer to these if they're going to be covered in the NSPA sessions. So moving on, let's get started with the most basic question: what is evaluation? So Colleen, will you kick us off with the definition?
I will. So first I'd like all of you on the line to take just a couple of seconds to think to yourself, what do you think of when you hear the word evaluation? Okay, I would like to think that your answer to yourself wasn't dark and stormy, but we often do start basic evaluation workshops by asking our clients what they think of when they hear the word evaluation, and some of the associations are negative. Some people are afraid that we're going to rate their job performance. Some worry that an evaluation will uncover unattractive things about their program. Others are just resistant to change, and still others are afraid that our evaluation will be very disruptive to their program. The truth of the matter is that no evaluation that we've ever done, at least, is all dark and stormy bad news or all smooth sailing, blue skies, 100% good news. There's usually a mix of findings to celebrate and findings to help you think more critically about improvements to your program. This is actually a little sketch of a late sociologist and Harvard professor named Carol Weiss. I did not do the sketch, who is generally considered to be the, quotes, founding mother of evaluation. And this is her definition of evaluation. It's a little technical, but let's just take a quick look at what it stresses. It stresses systematic assessment, which basically just means doing things in some kind of orderly way and in reference to social science research standards. It also tells us that the focus of evaluation can be either on the operations of a program and or the outcomes of a program. It reminds us that generally, in order to be evaluative, you need to have some point of comparison. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a comparison group. We'll talk about that later. But some standard of comparison is very helpful when seeking to be evaluative about a program. And finally, it reminds us, very importantly, of the purpose of evaluation, which is really about making programs better. So one of our strategies for ensuring cooperation and support when clients sometimes have negative views of evaluation is to highlight the value of evaluation. So Irene, what are some of the reasons that you think people should evaluate their programs?
Well, simply stated, evaluation allows you to answer questions about your program. And you remember in the very beginning when I said that there were three very common themes when people, regarding what people most want to find out about their programs. And so when it comes to scholarship programs, here are the three, and I've done several now sessions at the NSPA conferences.
Excuse me, Irene?
Sure.
It sounds like people are still seeing the Paul screen.
Oh, really?
Yes,
oh, what?
and I'm trying to figure out if there's something that, because I actually see your screen.
Oh my.
Right, yeah, our poll, right now it shows the poll not being shared.
Shared, right, it's closed.
Okay.
Let's try clicking the X there, Irene, above share.
I'm going to send a message to everybody and see if...
When did that start?
And we actually just closed the poll screen altogether, so let's see if that made a difference. If somebody could indicate whether that made a difference, that would be great.
I see a comment. Still only see Paul. I'm still seeing the Paul.
See, we're not seeing the poll.
Right, and neither am I. I wonder if I can...
Maggie, I wonder if you should try taking the controls back and then giving them back to us and seeing if we do a little reset that way, if that'll work.
Or maybe she takes the control.
Yeah, I can also take the Pauls completely off, but let me see if this will work first. Okay, and then I'll give you the presenters. Okay, so how is everybody? Quick poll still up. Okay. Shoot. I'm gonna see if I can just delete the poll completely.
Go ahead.
Okay, how is it looking for people now? Still Paul.
Hi.
Well, I am wondering if we can ask everybody to log off and log back on because I don't see what else I can do. I deleted the poll.
We're definitely not seeing it on our end either.
Right. So can everybody just leave the group, leave the webinar, and then rejoin?
But do come back.
Please come back.
Yes. And Maggie, would you like us also to leave and rejoin?
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps that will help. I probably won't because I'm worried that it will
Right.
Yeah.
completely shut off the webinar. But yes, please do.
We will. Okay. Hey Maggie, we're back.
Okay. I got some no luck with people coming back on. I think I'm gonna have to maybe restart the webinar.
Okay.